Well, Coach, no precipitation to speak of, but still a very chilly December day in Philly. Winter coats and hot chocolate abound here at Lincoln Financial Field. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with the New York Giants. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. 120!
Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Heavy on the edge. Great 57. Check. Fresno.
Now Howard. And this carry not as productive. He swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. 4
down.
Working from the gun. Wentz. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 7-0. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Now Wentz to try again after the pick 6. It's caught by Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On 2nd down, it's Howard. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come on, D.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Wentz going to throw. Incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Five nine. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. I can't believe you let you play.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation allows him to get home.
And the punt team on now as this one's set away. On the return, it's Tate. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Jones operating from the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Jones now. From the gun, he'll throw. He completes it to Tate. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 39-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Here we go. Here we go. Check 50. Check 50.
Running with Howard. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
Here we go. Waiting. Mike 27. 3 bugs. 3 bugs. Ran. Bug. No.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. O'Shane Ximines. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Jones. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Barkley had his biggest game yardage-wise against these Eagles last year pretty early on in the season. 130 on the ground, 99 more through the air on 9 catches.
60 outlaw.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. He's got his man. This is Tate. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. They come out here in the eye.
They've got Mike, number 53. Mike 53.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he is in. Touchdown, New York.
Great job.
Saquon Barkley. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go! First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already.
Watch the safety creep. Let's go. Great.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Tyson. Lefty.
To throw, it's Wentz. Trying to lay one up deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Barkley. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And it's 3rd down.
Let's go.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Jones. It's caught. Shepard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down.
And the Giants first down.
Set up. Send over.
Mike. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
Let's go.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back, part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing, Jones. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 yards and a Giant first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run on first down. Barkley, and he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Go.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. This is caught, and he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Golden Tate with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He's going to air one out. And this will be caught at the 30. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Jones heading up here 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Operating from the gun, Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Back to throw, Jones. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Incomplete. Coverage by Anderson Davo.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll kick it away for the second time. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just...
And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 20, 10, for touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now wins. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Marcus Golden, too much to handle that time, gets the sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Now it's Tate. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go. 60 outlaw. Here we go, here we go.
On first down, Barkley. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Coming to you, coming to you.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back near the goal line. Here's Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on third. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Taking it about the 36. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check tight.
Again, it's Barkley. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Hey, we're pretty quiet, team. We're pretty quiet.
Jones on 3rd and 2. That's into the hands of the tight end, Ellison. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. This is Barkley. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively.
A 10-yard loss on the play. It's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
What we got? Shift! Watch the shift!
They run with Howard, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Go.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd.
Out. Two Jet. Hey, forward, Tokyo.
Now Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Set, ready, 8, read. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Watch the screen.
They'll run again here with Gallman. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And the Giants first down.
Set, 60 Pittsburgh. Cross the glass. Cross the glass. Let's go.
Now Gallman. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
At the 45-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Guys, game situation. Let's go.
They'll run with Barkley. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
run. Watch the run. That's south, baby. That's baby south. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Check pass, check pass.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come again. Ready.
They'll run on first down. Barkley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. It's Barkley on the counter, and he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now, and this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Again, it's Howard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Giants, they move back over 500 at 7-6, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year, and they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.